4 grooves that I use, and the main one, which I guess is, how would you say it? The song is kind of in the Oakland style. I hate to say the word, Tower of Power. That's what it is. It's sort of in that style. And so it's a 2-bar pattern, and it sounds like this. I'll play it faster, at sort of at tempo, and then I'll slow it down a little bit so you can see what's going on. Essentially how it breaks down is I'm playing 8th notes with my right hand on this hi-hat over here. All the open hi-hat notes are on the left hi-hat, which is, your main hi-hat. And then all the accents on the snare, sort of going back and forth between the hi-hat and snare drum while this is going on. So, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, in that example, you'll notice that the level of my snare, I was using the 2 levels. You can see it in there really well. And it fluctuated. It's not always going to be just a 1/2 inch, but it's always going to be pretty close to that. But I think that when you practice that technique, you should practice it at disciplining yourself to play the certain height, just so that you get in the habit of keeping your left hand down on all those unaccented notes. And when I had everything going on, all those little unaccented notes act like sort of glue that sort of holds everything together on the inside. If I didn't have all that stuff, there'd be a lot of holes in the pattern. This particular pattern, I think I'll just play it slower because I don't even know how to break this thing down. I think I'd fall on my face if I was to try to break the component parts down to you other than tell you what they are. And you can see it, by watching the tape. All right? So let's try it again, and this time we'll try it really slow. I'll start with the hi-hat over here, and then I'll add these other parts. All right? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that was the main groove. I guess if you wanted to compare it with something, sort of where an idea like that comes from, when I was in the Tower of Power, we used to do a song called the Oakland Stroke, and it had a sort of a 2-bar pattern that was very similar to that. I'll play you some of that so you can hear the similarities in the 2. So it sounded like this. See if I can still play it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you want to hear it up to tempo, I go buy the record because I haven't played this in about 1,000,000 years. Also, Dennis Chambers has got a faster version if you ever can catch up with him on a videotape of his. But anyway, the next section that I want to go through here would be, I guess, the solo section. And in the solo section, I sort of break away from the main groove a little bit, and and it goes into more of a one bar pattern, I guess you could say. And so that would sound like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I slowed it down a bit so that you could sort of get an idea of what was going on. Again, that same technique of the accented, unaccented notes. The unaccented note is really critical to the sound of the whole thing, and it gives you all that texture in between all your accented notes and the nice blend between your hi-hat and snare drum. I do another version of that pattern. I take the same pattern and, later in the solo section. Now, I say the solo section, I'm talking about where the saxophone solo is in the piece. I play the same thing that I'm playing on my hi-hat. I play that on this little bell right here. So I'll play that and you hear what that sounds like. And also during that, I'm playing eighth notes with my left foot. So I'll start the eighth note to the left foot and then bring the other stuff in. See if I can do it that way. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, there's another section, too, I forgot here, which is a bridge. And, you know, I think that anything that you play in that bridge section that sort of follows the bass line or similar sort of figure would work. I think, though, that the main pattern, in something like, there's a number of things probably that I could have played. The main pattern I think you have to stay with, because that sort of is a signature of the tune. And the bridge section, I tried a number of different things. Here's the thing that I came up with. Uses ride cymbal and crashes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. The drum solo at the end basically is over that percussion groove that's going on. And I don't even know how to describe what that would be. It's sort of I guess a funk, songo, Latin sort of pattern using the two bells, the big bell here, and then the small bell. And so it sounds like this. I'm playing quarter notes with my left foot. I use also the rim of the snare, and back and forth with my left hand playing this bell and the snare pattern, okay? So the right hand plays the big bell and the rim of the snare. The left hand plays the small bell and the snare accents and a couple unaccented notes too, all right? So it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what it sounds like broken down. Kind of a difficult sort of sticking to explain, but again, you got a visual on what it looks like. Okay, so that pretty much takes care of everything in that piece.